Hi, and welcome to this video. Today I want to share 3 tips that you can use if your kids are mixing up letters to help them not to do that. The first tip is actually when you're introducing the order of the letters, it's really helpful not to introduce letters that can be mixed up with each other at the same time. So don't introduce B and D at the same time, for example, lowercase. Don't introduce lowercase p and q at the same time. Don't introduce lowercase n and u at the same time. Any letters that look similar but just can be flipped, you don't want to introduce those letters at the same time because it makes it much more likely that kids are going to confuse them. So as much as possible, introduce one letter, then wait several weeks until your child is really comfortable with that one, and then introduce the other letter that can commonly be confused for it at a different time. But maybe you've already introduced the letters and your child is confused. What then? So one of the best ways to fix confusion is actually to draw a picture using the letter. So I have one that I drew here for B and D that I wanted to show you. And in this picture, let's see. In this picture, I have letter B and letter D. And as you can see, the B has a big belly in the front of it, and the D looks like it's wearing a diaper in the back. So you could make up a little mnemonic. B has a belly and D has a diaper, and you could actually draw these pictures for your child on top of the letter. And the point is that whenever your child sees a letter B or a letter D, they will start to picture this on their own, and that will help them, give them a clue about which letter it is that they're looking for. So even when the sick person isn't drawn there, they will still picture that in their head and remember that mnemonic, and it will help them to be able to learn which one is a B and which one is a D. And you can make your own little pictures or activities there for any letters that your kids are mixing up. Just create a mnemonic for them and draw the picture using the letter itself to help them start to be able to see the differences between those letters. The final tip that I have is to really turn practicing these letters into a game. So you can just create a simple game board on a piece of poster board and put different letters that your child easily confuses on the squares, and then have your child roll the dice and move their game piece forward. And then whatever square they land on, they have to say the letter. And if they get that letter correct, then they get to stay where they are. Otherwise, they have to go back. So just a simple game like that can be really helpful in terms of giving your child some fun practice. And the more that you can make practicing these letters fun and not frustrating for your child, the better. And the quicker they'll be able to learn and remember these common reversals. So hopefully this information was helpful to you. You want to start by not introducing letters that can easily be flipped around at the same time. You also want to take any letters that your child is commonly confusing and create a little picture for them and a mnemonic device so that they can remember which letter they're looking at when they see one come across in print. And then finally, you want to find some fun and creative ways for your kids to practice, like a simple game that can give them an opportunity to just reinforce those skills in a fun environment. So hopefully this was helpful to you. If you have tips or suggestions that have worked for your child with combating letter reversals, please feel free to leave those in the comments.